Good evening, my Rosalinds and Rosikins. Mother is back. And for this video, I just want to thank the matriarchs in my bloodline for being such badasses, gorgeous, fierce, intelligent, flawless, passionate, and talented and magical women that have passed on their greatness to me, that whose blood runs through my own veins. I just want to thank all the matriarchs on both sides of my familia, right? For just empowering me. A lot of times, us as women, we do not really understand just how much power, beauty, sensuality, intelligence, that we really have over ourselves, the world, and our communities, and even over men, quite as it's kept. And I will go more into our power in another video in regards to the power that we have, even over men, quite as it is kept and feared, and why certain women, hashtag witches, are seen as demonic and evil and everything in between because we are women who dare to stand in our power, literally and internally and magically and externally. Okay? Okay. But to the matriarchs in my bloodline, I am so honored that it is you who I hail from. I am so honored of the greatness, the wisdom, the intuitions, the power, the magic, the nurturing, even the need to be selfless enough to sacrifice yourselves for your daughters in your own ways. You know, I saw this TikTok and it was touching on how in another life our mothers chose themselves basically over us, where they decide to live the lives that we get to live now as women. And I 100% would want that. For me, when I think about the matriarchs in my bloodline, I think about women who always found a way or made one. And when I say the matriarchs in my bloodline, I also include my adoptive mother, my birth mother, my birth father on his bloodline, and even to a certain extent, at times, my stepfather's matriarchs. But just to keep it bloodline related, I'm specifically targeting in this video my birth mother and birth father's matriarchs. I thank you for them, and honorable mentions to my adoptive mom and my stepdad's matriarchs who have touched my life, right? And so I just want to thank y'all for you, my beautiful matriarchs. Because of you, I am gorgeous. Because of you, I am intelligent. Because of you, I choose me. I choose me. Because of you, I can have the strength to do what needed to be done and needs to be done within my bloodline. Because of you, I remember who I am. Because of you, I decide to laugh out loud and to stand boldly in my beauty, my wealthiness, and my skintiness. Because of you, I choose to not be a single mother, to not be someone's birthing machine in that sense, to not be made a fool of by a man with my wound. I choose to take control of my wound because of the cautionary tales that I have seen and also the glorious tales of triumph that I also know. And because of you, I am empowered with so much magic. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And, most of my ancestors would be and will be those of African descent or Native African American, etc., etc., etc. But I also have the blood of Celtic women, Irish women, Norse women coursing through my veins, English women from like England and Britain, etc., etc. So like West Midlands, East Midlands, the Netherlands, Indigenous America, Native Americans, Swedish women that have Nordic ancestry, Northern Wales, Northwest England, Munster, Ireland. I have those women coursing through my veins as well. Their blood also courses through me, along with my African ancestry, and then, my Southern African American ancestry, my West Indie slash Islander, ancestry, but I say West Indie ancestry. All those different things course through me. And it has empowered me immensely. Because every time I look in that mirror, I see a beautiful, beautiful woman that is learning how to accept and boast of who she is. And a beautiful woman that's learning what discipline and falling in love with the processes. A beautiful woman that's learning what breaking generational curses is on a womb level, right? A beautiful woman that's learning what it is to actually create her life the way that she wants it to be, not what people tell her it needs to be, not what her circumstances dictate it has to be, but what she has dreamed in her own heart for herself. I see a woman that is learning how to only accept true love. And that true love doesn't mean that you necessarily are submissive to a man to the point where you break as a woman, but it means you're submissive to the point where you're empowered as a woman, right? Learning to choose myself over a man, learning to choose myself even over other family, learning to put myself first in regards to whatever situation I find myself, learning to that I can have strength, thank you, Freya, as well as beauty, that I can be fierce and beautiful, learning from Oshun that my sweetness is not a curse, and that my witchcraft, my magic, my hoodoo, my voodoo, my Hebrew isn't wicked, isn't evil, is not something that is, doing away with the true purity of my intentions. And, learning from even Yah in regards to my Hebrew ancestry, that I am not disowned because I am a daughter that has power. Amen. And from Mami Wata, learning more to embrace my sensuality, my seductiveness, my magnetism, the undercurrents of my emotions, of my heart, of my will, you know? And being a Scorpio on top of all that. It's just so much that the matriarchs in my blood have passed on to me, have entrusted into me, have blessed me with. I love that I am not just a pretty face, but I am so much more. I love that I'm the type of woman that can take the different lessons that I'm learning still from the matriarchs of my bloodline and pass it on to other women, through my YouTube channel, through my, ever evolving TikTok, and then eventually through my Patreon and whatnot, and my Discord and things like that, and connecting with other women who also hail from greatness, that see, what's between our legs is diamonds and rubies and pearls. Oh my God. To be mother, to hail from mothers, bloodline is a blessing. And so I say all that to say that as you are figuring out your exoticalness, as you are embracing who Yah made you to be, as you are looking within your spiritual pantheon of goddesses and whomever else that you choose to worship and or be inspired by, understand that there is no true unearthing yourself, enthroning yourself. There's no true doing that without accepting and giving thanks to the divine feminine that courses through your veins and your matriarch. Now, I understand that some of us come from broken matriarchs, and that's why you take the best of what those women could pass to you and you capitalize and you flip that shit and expound it, multiply it, right? And even add your own flair of divine feminine justice to it, right? Because I can't say that every woman is a sister. Just like I can't say that every woman that gives birth is a mother. I can't say that. But what I can say is that if you're listening to my voice, if you're resonating with this message, if you resonate with what I've gone through, what I'm sharing on my channel, with the emotion in my voice, with my spirituality, there is something about you that is greatness that is held from your matriarch bloodline on both sides. I can't even say just either. From your father and your mother, you have great matriarchs from your ancestry and spiritually, within you. And so, whatever you are aware of, take the goodness and spread it, perfect it. Do not shy away from your divine feminine power. Do not shy away from embracing and praising and worshiping the part of you that is at the core of your womanhood that you have been blessed with from your matriarchs. Understand there was a lot of sacrifices. Did they do everything right? No, they did not. I'm going to tell you they didn't. But they did with what they had. And it's up to us to make our life better after we have healed and are on our healing journey, and most importantly, acknowledged their journeys. We can see a little bit of ourselves in them, even when we want to, even when we don't want to. And so, my thing is just the fact that you have to be for real. You have to stand in your greatness. You have to be thankful for what was passed on to you that is of help to you as a woman now from other women within your bloodline. And it is up to you to make it greater than what it is. You know, when I think of my name, I give it legacy, I give it meaning, I give it purpose. I share my destiny with the name that I was given. And I'm proud because I realize that all my hard work is a testimony to all the hard work of the women before me. And every blessing that I will reap in this life is recompense, is justice for what they had to go through. And that's why I stand on business with who I am and who I am becoming and who I've always been destined to be. Because their sacrifices, their unlived dreams, their unhealed heartbreak, so a lot of them that we never really talk about, their unhealed sexual assaults, their unhealed abuse, their nightmarish single motherhoods, the broken promises, their low self-esteems, all the negative things that have held the women in my family back. I'm here to break that shit. I'm here to live my best life for them in honor to them. It's hard being that bitch. It's hard, okay? But you know what's harder? What's harder is believing that you never could be that bitch rather than never being. And a lot of us, what we deal with a lot of shit being beautiful, exoticals. I'm going to just say we do. But it would be a slap in the face to all the gorgeous foremothers of ours, our matriarchs, if we said, I'm just going to live a lazy lifestyle. I'm just going to be content where I am. I'm not going to shoot for higher, even though I can get higher, even though I'm destined to get higher. We don't do that as beauty destined women. We take up the mantle and we fucking strut, bitch. We strut. Okay? We strut. Because we understand that with every tear that our foremothers went through and have shed, with every dusty that they have ever encountered in their life, that we are here to live on a throne. We are here to do them justice with our life. We are here to restore the balance of our bloodlines through our matriarchal sides. We are here as karma to say, not in this lifetime. You know, sometimes I even think about the fact that the things that I'm doing, the sights that I'm seeing, the work that I'm doing, you know, my mother's blood runs through my veins. Her mother's blood ran through her veins, and so on and so forth and so forth. We are a mixture of all the beautiful women that came before us on both sides of our families, right? So my thing is just the fact that I have to remember this. Sometimes I gotta tell myself, mother, this isn't even for you, right? That's what I'm starting to realize. This is for her. This is for she. This is for her. This is for great 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 grandmother down the line that I don't even know about. I don't even know her name. But what I'm experiencing, the blessings I am reaping, the curses I am breaking. This is a promise fulfilled for a woman whose blood runs through my veins that I don't even know, but who is at peace now because I'm living a life. I'm fulfilling a prophecy that she never got to see, that she never got to live. And you know, you have to think of it that way, my Rosalynds. You have to understand spiritual and physical matriarchal bloodlines. Some of our matriarchal bloodlines also include the spiritual aspect, Oshun, Freya, Mamiwata, etc., Pamjira, etc., etc., etc. Like so many different spiritual mothers, even. Mary Laveau, etc., Tituba, like things like that. You know, with our matriarchal pantheons, it's a powerful, powerful group of women. And so I just want to empower you and remind you to thank Yah. Think on your soul. Think the women that you don't even know their names to that are a part of your DNA for what they have done and endured so that we can get to a place where we say, hey, as a beautiful woman, as a beautiful exotic, I want to live for myself. As a beautiful Rosin, I need to live for myself because they didn't have that choice. They didn't. And to have all this, be blessed with all this, and do nothing with it would be a shame. It would be blasphemy. And so I tell you this as your mother to say that I love you, my Rosalynds. I want you to get everything that your matriarchs have blessed you to get and did not and weren't able to get. But you can do it. And you're going to do it. Because not only are you a Rosalind and an exotical in that sense, you are a beauty destined woman. It was made for you to reap things that no one in your bloodline could reap except you because you actually remembered who you were, right? And you awakened and you gave thanks to the divine feminine within you, to your matriarchs. You got to understand that you are great. You are blessed. You are divine feminine. In every accomplishment, every curse broken, every chain loosened, every dream fulfilled is not only for you, but for the women that you come from. And with that, Mother's going to say, ciao. I love you, my Rosalynds and Roskins.